Good morning and welcome back to the channel. I had a pleasant night sleep and said goodbye to my brother. It was a real treat to have him here giving me a hand for the past 6 days, I believe it was, going through the first 24, I think it is, locks on the, I'm not awake yet, by the way, still eating my coffee, on the Erie Canal. And now I'm here. I've been at this SK, it's ESS-KAY yard, which is one of the most pleasant marinas that I've been at on the entire trip. It's kind of a rustic marina, but the personality here, the ownership, just makes you feel so much like family that it just makes your stay just great. They have a mechanic on board that took care of things. I hit something in the before one of the locks, like a piece of log. So I asked for a diver. The diver showed up that evening. I mean, it was just amazing to have such prompt service with a smile on their face, reasonable prices, and they've also provided diesel for, let's see, yesterday the price was, and I know it fluctuates, $3.78, I believe it was, a gallon, which was so far one of the best prices I've seen on the trip. So if you are coming up this way, they're I think the second or third marina on the left-hand side when you cross Lake Oneida, and they're just great people. So highly recommend them. And a quick look of what it looks like out there. That's the boatyard. They have the ability to lift your boat out of the water. Nice big lift. And just great people. Definitely highly recommend them. So today's plan is I'm leaving here in like 5 minutes. It's 7:30 in the morning, and I'm heading northbound on the Oswego, doing the rest of the Oswego. I think there's 8 locks. I've got a number of somebody I can call to go with me to do the lock handling if need be. But I want to attempt these. I learned a lot through the last locks that I went through with my brother. So I want to attempt these 8. If I can make these 8 with no big deal, then I'm going to continue on and not have somebody help me out. If I can't, then I may give him a call and have him help me do the Trent 7. That's the plan. So I'm going to wrap things up and head on out. I also want to add a shout out to my beautiful sister Rose. It was her birthday this month and I wasn't able to be there. So happy birthday, sis. Love you always. First lock headed towards the Oswego. This is lock number 23. By myself, solo. So I've got 2 things that I'm working with and I'm going to try. My remote control, I just used it just a few minutes ago. It's working great for my thrusters. And I'm always the type of person to try and MacGyver something and see how it works, thinking outside the box. So I've got a rope, a line tied to mid cleat, aft cleat, with a loop and eyelet hook in the middle. I'll show you when I get down there. It may work great, it may be a piece of crap, but I'm going to try it. Anything to help me do this large boat with by myself solo. So I'm waiting for them. I gave them a call on channel 13, told them I was looking for a pass westbound. They're getting the lock prepped, and this will be an easy one because it's a down, not an up. Going down is a whole lot easier than going up, a lot less turbulence. Okay, these have ropes. All right, I want to explain what's going on here. In these locks, in the Oswego or the American lock system here up north, there's a single line that a solo boater would hold on to. Now going down like these locks are, with no wind, no current, no turbulence, everything's great. The boat just goes straight on down. When you're going up, you hold onto this line that now could be 30, 40 feet long. And the line is attached to the top of the wall. So common sense tells you that the boat can swing outward or drift outward. And there's no way for you to pull yourself back against the wall because you're pulling not laterally, you're pulling from the top of the wall. So you have to literally like walk to the other side of the boat and pull, or walk to the front and then walk to the other side and pull. It's really a strange, inefficient setup and can be dangerous for one person or just difficult to deal with. Now, these locks right here that I'm going through on the Oswego, they're all going down. So it wasn't a big deal. As the boat is going down, it just slides almost against the wall. And because there was no wind on this day, everything was great. So that's kind of what's going on here. Yeah, going down is a piece of cake. You can see there's no turbulence. Little fish right there. You can see it. 2 of them. 3, 4. Oh, bunch of little fish. That's kind of the first fish I've seen in this nasty old waterway. Huh. I wonder what kind of fish they are. Anyways, you can see I'm not even holding the rope. It's just sitting here. So if every lock was like this, this would be nothing. The main thing is there's no wind, zero. My enclosure up there acts like a great big sail and just blows you everywhere. So this is, man, if every lock is going to be like this on the Oswego, this is going to be a wonderful day for me. Okay, here we go. We're done. It's a beautiful thing. Nice. I can deal with this. And I've got a steering problem. I'm running out of fluid. I've got a little leak somewhere, and I haven't tracked it down yet. Somewhere in a hose or something, and I'm having to put a little bit of fluid in about once every couple of weeks. And it's just coming into the lock. It just started to slip. So I need to pull over to the side here and do a little squirt of fluid. All I do is just put in about 4 tablespoons right there. That's all it requires. And then we're back in business again. But right now the steering is slipping like crazy. So getting into the lock was a pain, and getting out, as you can see, my steering wheel is just kind of going around and around and around, and it's not doing much turning. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna find a place to stop. There's no boats around so far this morning. I'm really blessed for not having traffic coming in and out of the lock. It's just me, so I can stop. It's 9:18 in the morning. So let's tie off for a minute and take care of the issue, and then get back on the water. And I have to be careful because I don't have any fenders on that side. So, and there's no wind, no current, so I should just barely touch it. Okay. Okay. Come on, just stay off the wall. Let me put a fender over there real quick. It's just a little mustard bottle with my hydraulic steering fluid in it. This thing allows me to squirt it in there very easily without spilling it. Of course, I always end up spilling it anyway, so, but here we go. Oh no, that's not good. It's taking more than normal. Oh no. Hope I haven't popped a real leak. That's a whole lot more than normal. Normally it's a couple tablespoons. There we go. And then rotate the steering wheel. Whoa. And hopefully it stays down. Yep. And looks good. That should be good for now. All right. So I know what I'm going to be doing when I get back to the next marina. Crawling down around trying to find out where the leak's at. I've already looked, and as you know, the hoses go all over the place, so I've got two more of the places that I need to squeeze into to look. All right, back on the road again. That's the dinner bell. There's my dinner. No, that's my lunch. So I went down, looks like about 22 feet, I think. And now there's a drawbridge in front of the lock. I have to wait for him to open it too. And the wind's trying to push me to the other wall. So thank goodness for thrusters. Makes it easy. There goes the drawbridge. Get your pen and paper ready. Drawbridge. Whoever draws the best bridge wins. Okay, I'm gonna start easing forward. Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful day. Guess he doesn't open it all the way. Doesn't need to. Bye-bye. Nice people I met that have a 27 Ranger tug that will be doing the trip tomorrow up to Ontario and then making the crossing into Canada. Coming into these locks with no other boats around in the middle of the day where you're the single only boater there is was wonderful. It really made it a breeze. You not have to worry about somebody behind you or somebody in front of you that you may have to worry about getting too close to. You just bring it on in and you can focus on just kissing the wall perfectly because you know that it's got to be just right because you're the only one handling the lines. You don't have somebody else down there doing it for you.
Lock number 6, out of the way, down the drain, so to speak. I don't have to hold on. Lockmaster came out and said, if you can float it right there, you don't have to hold on, being on by myself. So, hey, let's give it a try. There's hardly any wind right now, and as long as there's no wind, shouldn't be a big deal. It's a pretty far drop. I think this goes down 38 feet, 42 feet. It's a long one. So, hopefully he drops it quick. And gets me out of the wind, because there's some wind swirling around, and as soon as I get my enclosure, my fly bridge down below the wind level, then it's no big deal. Yep, there's the trees up there starting to blow. Come on, man, drop me, drop me. And yes, I can use the thrusters, but I hate having to use the thrusters all the time. I'd much rather use just the engines and the steering wheel and not rely on the thrusters. To me, the thrusters are for emergency purposes, like an oh crap moment. All right, we're going down. Okay, I kept it in the middle all the way down. That was sweet. Now that's the way to do a lock.
Good morning. It is Sunday morning, and I finally completed all of the Oswego River. I spent the last 3 days at the Oswego Marina, and it's now 5:37 a.m. I've got the engines warming up, coffee making, and I'm heading across the big ocean, the Lake Ontario. Weather says it's going to be flat, so I see other looper boats already untying and pulling out, so I'm going to head out. It's I think the distance was 52 miles, something like that. So hopefully I've got a beautiful day ahead of me, and I'll make it into Collins Bay Marina in Canada, Kingston, Canada. See you there. There's my track across Lake Ontario. So it looks like a short distance, but let's see here. It says it's 53.9 miles. And it's 6:02 in the morning right now. And it says I'll get there at 12:12. Add a little bit of that for navigation around some waterways when I get close to the marina. So figure 12:30. So I'm going to sit back, have my coffee, and enjoy the ride. I'm about a quarter of the way across now. It is pretty nice out. The winds are out of that right quartering panel a little bit in the back, so they're not quite a following sea, but close enough for comfort. There are still, yesterday the winds were coming off the beam off of that direction there, and because the lake is so big, the leftover rollers are still there, so they're still kind of rocking me a bit. But hey, I'll take that all day compared to what it was in the last few days. So let me show you out front. And the temperature this morning was 61. So for a Florida boy, I was freezing my butt off, so that's why I got my heavy jacket on. Here's what it looks like out front. You can see the sun. how beautiful that is. Nice open water, nice flat out. There's like a barely maybe a 1 foot real close chop, which is nothing. That's flat for the ocean or Lake Ontario, one and the same. So the water depth where I'm at, about a quarter of the way out, is 385 feet. I did look at my chart recorder.
In front ain't too bad either.
I did look at my chart recorder on the way out, and it was marking a few fish down at about 65 feet. And that's as I was passing. There's a group of fishermen out here, quite a big group. Looks like all the people come out just a short distance. They come out about 2 miles and about 65 feet of water. There was fish they were pulling in, salmon. So they were getting their limit on salmon pretty quick. So I'm going to continue on. Well, it started to get a little bit windier out, and the seas were supposed to stay behind me, and we've got a lot of big rollers coming in from off the beam, causing it to be not comfortable at all. It's rocking me back and forth, so I had to put it up on plane to try and push through this stuff. So I'm running about 19, 20 miles an hour. I haven't been keeping up on this, so let's make this official. I'm coming across the U.S.-Canadian border in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Canada. Still got a ways to go. I'm 3/4 the way across the lake. And I feel like I want to speak French, but I just don't know the language. Du Canada. And those big rollers that were really getting me in the middle of the lake, they were coming off the beam, and it was just rocking me side to side to side. Even though I still had a following sea, the rollers were still there, I guess, from yesterday. They hadn't dissipated yet. Now that I'm 3/4 of the way in, I'm in a little bit less offshore area, I guess. And the rollers coming off the beam have subsided now. Now all I have is a following sea of about 2.5. So it's nice. It's absolutely beautiful. The boat's sitting straight and steady. And I have about 18 more miles to go before I land in, where am I going? Collins Bay in Kingston, Canada. I'm cruising. I'm gonna try backing in. We'll see what happens.
I made it and I didn't crash.
You did
Woo!
great. Can I have your bow line there?
Absolutely.
Little far for me to reach.
Yes, it is. There you go.
Okie dokie.
You guys take American money for tips? Or-
Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to the States next week anyway.
Nice.
So.
Okay.
I thought that in order to be on the list, you couldn't touch land. It's pretty good. It's not necessary though.
I know that.
Oh, okay.
But I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
And I don't have any Canadian money, so
Thank
I
you.
don't know if that works.
Appreciate that.
Right.
And whenever you're ready to check in and do all that,
Okay.
you can come to the kiosk. Do you want me to at
Right
least?
over there? Okay.
Do you want me to at least bring you your washroom key and that so that you can? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
go get that for you, and then you'll be all set.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
So I finally made it across the lake, Lake Ontario that is, and I'm at the Collins Bay Marina here in Canada. It's just, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles west of Kingston. A lot less crowded, more peaceful. And I've checked in with customs. So the experience with customs was I was on hold for about 30 minutes, which I was anticipating a long hold because they're having some sort of a contract negotiations. And once I got a hold of customs, I just sat here on my boat, read off a few things to them. I was on the phone with her maybe 5 minutes, if that, and got my number. Easy peasy, no big deal. Checked in here at the marina, and I also just got through hopping on my scooter and ran up to a grocery store. There's a grocery store within literally just walking distance, but with my bad back, I decided to take my little scooter. That way I can carry the groceries on a rack on my handlebars. So while I was there, everybody always says you gotta try out the butter tarts in Canada. Oh my gosh, the butter tarts. So I bought a butter tart. In fact, and I warmed it up too so that it's fresh. This is one of the freshest ones they had. So let's see. Not bad. A little coffee, maybe. It's not bad at all. This is one of the tastes like cinnamon apple. Yeah, that's kind of what it tastes like. It's not the pecan. I'm not a fan of pecans. I would do this again. It's pretty good. I'll give it 2 thumbs up. Good morning from Collins Marina, Canada. First day in Canada, first morning, and it's drizzling. It's been raining for about an hour or so outside. It's supposed to move through, and then the plan is to eat my breakfast, which I had to celebrate a little bit. I'm having a kind of a traditional Canadian breakfast. It's more of a British holdover, but Canadians eat baked beans with their breakfast. So one time when my brother and I were in Montreal for the Formula One race, we went to the buffet at the restaurant and we're having breakfast, and there was baked beans there, and I thought, oh, they're already putting out stuff for lunch. And I asked the guy if that's what was going on. He goes, no. He goes, that's baked beans for breakfast. He just kind of gave me a weird look. So I tried it, and it's absolutely magnificent. Baked beans go with eggs incredibly well. So a little tradition here. So I went ahead and grabbed some Bush's baked beans from the local store yesterday when I went shopping, and gonna have them with breakfast. So a little coffee and breakfast, and then plan is to wrap up and start heading for a 35-mile trip towards the Trent Severn, and I'll be anchoring out. I don't really want to hit the Trent Severn or any locks, because if you remember in like my second or third video, I was cooking and sliced the tip of my finger a little bit on that mandolin slicer where you pull like onions through and it slices, a julienne slicer, I think they call it. Well, back then I only made a little slice of my finger. I guess I don't learn quick. I sliced the actual end off of my finger this time with it. I'm such a bonehead. That hurt like nobody's business, and Band-Aids just kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, because when you slice the layer of the skin off, it doesn't want to heal quick. So I kept tapping every time. You don't realize how much you use the ends of your finger. Every time I would touch something, it would bleed again. So the solution I found was to wrap some blue tape around it and extend it out so that becomes the area that touches before it catches that little slice. You don't want to see what it looks like. It's terrible. But man, I tell you, it hurts every time I turn around. I touch something and it hurts like the devil. So last thing I want to do is be grabbing something in a lock, because it's going to just start bleeding like crazy and it'll hurt. So hopefully I'm just going to take it real easy. Be conscious of not touching my finger as I'm driving and dealing with the anchor and stuff, and then head out. So I'm going to try to make it a 2-day trip to the Trent Severn and let my finger heal. That's the plan. All right, update. This is 45 minutes later, and change of plans. I think I'm going to stay here another day. It's still raining outside. Looks like it's going to be raining for a while. My finger is giving me more problem than I thought. The cut on the end of it, it's not healing at all. It's just every time I look at it, it's still bleeding, bleeding, bleeding. I had to do dishes, so I even put on one of these nitrile gloves, and just absolutely touching the glove against the still like nerves sticking out of the end of my finger is just so painful. And when I pull this glove off, there's gonna be blood inside of there. It's just being able to handle the boat and the lines and stuff would be not fun. So I'm in no hurry. I'm going to just take the rest of the day and make a point to try and let this heal over a little bit so that I can deal with it. And then I'll continue on. So the next video will be the beginning of the Trent Severn. So this is going to end this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.